All right, on the record in state of Michigan versus Ali Muhammad Copeland, 2500137FD.
And of Buckingham for the people.
Dara Khalil on behalf of Mr. Copeland, who is standing to my left.
And you are Ali Copeland.
Yes, Your Honor.
Today is the date for sentencing on this OWI third case. We have received the Department of Corrections report. Have both counsel had a chance to review that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
I noticed a number of sort of confusing parts in the body of the report. So on page 6 under family, it says sentence fragment, both parents in life and close to them both. What is that supposed to say?
Both parents are in his life and he is close with them both, is how I interpreted that.
Well, it says they're both deceased, so that doesn't make sense.
Oh, Mr. Copeland, you.
Not both of my parents are deceased,
Okay,
mother and father, and I've stated that with the,
And it says that above it. So this is where I had them correct one other area of it that didn't make any sense, but this spot they didn't correct.
Your Honor, I believe they were talking about growing up co-parenting. Well, I'd assume they mean
No.
that both parents were.
Striking the sentence fragment. I'm disappointed in the report, to say the least, about the attention to detail as I used to experience in reviewing these reports as a defense attorney. So I just want to make sure that it's accurate, because what counsel may or may not be aware is that this report could follow Mr. Copeland every time he's charged with a felony for eternity. And so if something is incorrect in here, that could be something that affects him 8 years from now, so trying to make sure it's accurate as possible. Did we note any other corrections? Do the people have a position on sentence today?
No, Your Honor, we'll defer to the court.
yes, Your Honor. So, Mr. Copeland is absolutely fine with the recommended 24 months of probation and adhering to all recommended conditions. The only thing that I would ask is that the recommendation for 30 days jail with his credit for 2 days be limited to serving it on the weekends if possible, so that he doesn't lose the good job that he currently has. In addition to that, Mr. Copeland's biggest concern at the moment is maintaining his sobriety. And after that, it's so important to him that he keeps his employment so he can continue to provide for himself, his fiance, who's here today, and support, and his children. He does have 12 and 15-year-old boys that he is looking forward to gaining custody of soon, as long as he is successfully on probation. He knows he will be a good role model for them.
Ms. Cleo, why is your client testing positive for alcohol on Tuesday and Friday if he's so concerned about his Friday?
Your Honor, I have not received those alleged violations at this point, and so I wouldn't feel comfortable addressing them until I've been able to review the exact dates, times, and reports.
Well, you're welcome to take these and look at them. One of which I just received this morning. I received them both this morning. One I heard about last week, but I didn't see it this morning. You can step outside and talk to your client about that.
Your Honor, I believe I have spoken to Mr. Copeland about potential violations that could arise, and I believe that these are what he was expecting. And he does work with alcohol-containing substances in his job, and I would defer to him to explain exactly what substances those are.
Okay. So you told me you wanted a chance to review the test. So I offer you an opportunity to review the test, and then you don't want an opportunity to review the test?
Your Honor, I'll take the opportunity. I just wanted to confirm that I believe I have spoken to Mr. Copeland about the potential forthcoming violations, just that we hadn't received them yet. Your Honor, Mr. Copeland hasn't. Mr. Copeland is able to explain that he's had conversations with JSG. I'll let him explain those and what exactly the circumstances and environment are of his workplace.
Mr. Copeland, what would you like to say to that?
yes, how you doing this morning?
Fine, thank you.
Okay, I work with acetone, iodine, and paint thinner, and I forgot all the other stuff. I tried to get the documentation from them at work, but some of the stuff's so confidential because we make the parts for the army tanks and stuff, so they not allowed to share a lot of the stuff. And I discussed that with them when I was there. So the situation is the stuff that I use, you put the latex gloves and theirs on, because we have to rub the oil and get everything off before we're able to sandblast and use. And it's so strong, we use the respirators to have them on, but it goes through them and stuff. So when I proceeded to do my test, I proceeded to do my test, and when it came back saying retest, I contacted JSG, explaining what was going on with what I work on and what I'm getting is, they're waiting on it to tell me to retest again. They told me, okay, retest again. So that happened and I kept retesting and it went through. Now, the other day, rushing to go to work, I messed around and left my, on the table in the house, I left my piece that goes to the breathalyzer. So when it was time for me to proceed to do my breathalyzer that evening, because I'm on afternoon shift now, I have to be at 3:18 till 2 in the morning. So I'm at work and we had the parts we had to do, we had to use the acetone and everything to clean them. And we also have to dip them in the alkaline in the tanks. So these chemicals, even though you have the respirators on, the little filters, we have to change them. But in that process, when it was time for me to do my breathalyzer, I went to my bag to get my machine and my bag, my piece out. It wasn't in there. So I reached out to my fiance and said, I don't have my piece. So I contacted JSG, explaining to them I don't have my breathalyzer piece, and I'm not supposed to blow into this machine without the piece. And I explained to them what all I do at work and what I deal with. And that's when the lady said she was going to contact the main office by email. So I proceeded to blow in the machine just with no piece. I blew it, it told me to retest. I sat down, waited the 15 minutes like it tells me to retest. I blew it again to 15 minutes like it stated me to do. It told me to get it again. I blew it again. And I discussed with my coworkers and everything what I deal with the machine. A couple of guys that work with me, they said, oh man, I had that machine before. I work it. And in the process of me trying to blow it in Friday, it told me, wait for the blue light to come on like you're supposed to wait. It didn't go through the process to tell me to blow. I contacted JSG, which is a 24-hour line, stated to them what was going on. They told me they'll reach out to the office. Someone will contact me. I got a call Saturday morning, which I had reached out because I couldn't blow that Saturday morning, which I supposed to blow between 6 and 6:30. I reached out to them. They told me they'll contact me. Gentleman contacted me back and said he could meet me to JSG to change out the machine because I explained to him what it was doing. So when I took it into him to the place, it showed where you cuts it on, and it says wait for flashing light. As it goes with flashing light, it goes back to saying test not sent. So he looked at that 3 times and then he changed me out and got me a new one. And that's what I have. And I explained to him what all I do at work, what I work with. He said, I know about that plant person. He said, yes, a lot of chemical stuff. It would give you a test positive. So I have my new machine in my bag that he just gave me Saturday, which my fiance took me out to Mason to get. And I explained that to him, and I have his number in my phone, which is the actual, I think he's the manager. He said he doesn't stay far away from there. So he met me at the place to get a new one. And I explained all that to him then, what I've been going through. And he said he did have the calls where I called in to reaching out what was going on with the situation.
You realize you spent your whole time talking about just that and nothing else? You know, I'm here to sentence you for OWI 3rd. Anything else?
Well, Brianna, I'm proud to be sober and doing what I need to do. I continue to go to my meets. I don't have no use for alcohol. I don't have no urge to drink or do nothing. I just been staying focused of going to work, going to my meets. And I even reached out to Brandon, telling him that the stuff I deal with and how it's been stressing me, how I've been getting this test like that. Just being honest with you.
In your honor, I actually did not finish my allocution just because these alerts came up. I just wanted to mention one more thing, which is that Mr. Copeland has been attending AA meetings 2 times per day, which is actually quite impressive given that he gets off of work at 2 a.m. So he's making that early bird meeting in the morning, as well as attending in the latter part of the day. Thank you.
Copeland, it's always a challenge when somebody does not complete sobriety for when Department of Corrections recommends an additional term of probation. But I also keep in mind the interest in protecting the public from you drunk driving on the streets. You know that you burned your credibility with me a long time ago. So your story about whether or not your Scram tether is, or your sober link is because you used or not, it really just has no weight with me at this moment. Firstly, you will be serving your 30 days jail at the front end. That's the mandatory minimum for the offense, and I don't see that you were given an opportunity to avoid that with sobriety court. You threw that opportunity away. So you will serve that time.
Your Honor,
Further, Mr. Copeland, are you
Sorry.
serious right now?
I'm sorry.
24 months of probation is recommended by the Department of Corrections. During probation, you must not use or possess alcoholic beverages or other intoxicants. You must not enter bars or other places where the primary purpose is to serve alcoholic beverages for drinks on site, unless your field agent has first given you written permission for your employment at a specific location. That's separately broken down. You must make genuine efforts to find and maintain legitimate employment of a minimum of 30 hours per week unless engaged in an alternative program approved by the field agent. You must provide ongoing verification of employment or alternative program to your field agent. You shall not give reason to be terminated or voluntarily terminate your employment or alternative program unless you first obtain written permission from your field agent. You must serve jail time as follows: 30 days jail. You must pay restitution in the amount of $19,399.47 as broken down between the two listed victims. You must execute a wage assignment to pay restitution if you're employed and miss 2 regularly scheduled payments. You must pay a crime victims assessment amount of $130. You must pay $68 state costs as ordered by the court. You may not engage in recreational use of marijuana or use medical marijuana in violation of the Michigan Medical Marijuana Act. You must complete 90 days of MDOC Scram tether. I've also ordered a $500 fine and $892.30 cost recovery for the Lansing Police Department, as that was previously part of your sentence. I put intensive outpatient or residential at the discretion of your probation agent. Upon review of your testing history, your agent may or may not want you to go to residential treatment at this point based on the number of positive tests you've had. If you'd like to appeal my sentence and you need a public defender to assist you, you need to make your application within 14 days. Anything additional for this sentence today?
Not from the people. No, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Copeland, going into custody now.
Yo, can I please keep my job? Do weekends,
Mr.
please?
Copeland, we tried specialty court. This is what happens when you don't comply with specialty court.
Can I, 1 second, can I give my wallet and stuff to my fiance so she can take it? Can I give her my keys and stuff? The stuff.
That's fine.
Can I give her my stuff?
Take it out of your pocket, set it on the table.
That's what I'm just asking. That's what
Take it out of your
I'm
pocket, set it on the table.
Can you call my job and let me know about it?
Behind your back.
I ain't trying to move, man. I ain't trying to move.
Mr. Carter, are you ready?
I haven't had a chance to talk to